What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So I just got back from Geostorm. Um, and it's like, yeah, it's what you're thinking. Yeah. Um, this movie, it's not good. It's not good. It is very, very stupid in a lot of places. A lot of places. And it's not the good kind of stupid, you know? There's a good kind of stupid to movies where movies are just bad and they do some stupid stuff, but at least it's kind of funny or at least it's kind of enjoyable to watch. This, you just go and you're like, why? Like, it's not outrageous things. It's decisions that people make or decisions about design, things and stuff like that. Like, why was this built this way? This sort of thing. It's like, because like I know these movies, you got to go in and you just got to turn your brain off because this is the type of movie it is. It's it's a disaster film. It's like, just outrageous weather scenes and all the rest of it. It's really what it is. There's no real story or anything like that. And I was not expecting that at all. I went in with low expectations. Low. But the actual, the actual plot is stupid in lots of places. Lots of places. So I'm just gonna roll with this. I'm just gonna spoil stuff. So that, obviously that's in the title and all the rest of it. So most of the time I'll do like a non-spoiler, then I'll do a spoiler section at the end. This movie ain't worth that. It ain't worth that. It's not. It's you don't have to go see it. I'm gonna say that right now. I don't have to go now. Don't go see it. Save your money. There are plenty of other good movies coming out. That are out now, like Blade Runner and all that. Go watch Blade Runner if you haven't seen it. There are good movies that are out and coming out. Just save your money till then. Save your money till then. This ain't worth it. This ain't worth it. So this movie is pretty much like take all this space stuff from like Armageddon and all that, but minus the Bruce Willis and the oil drillers and all that, and then put in like Day After Tomorrow. This is what this movie basically is. It's got all the space stuff with the whole extreme weather part. And I will say the space stuff, like the design, the space station, the satellites, the shuttles, all that stuff, very cool. And I'm a bit of a spaceman. Like I love rockets. I love the whole shuttles and all the rest of it. I love that. So I dig movies with space exploration stuff in them, and so for me, like, I enjoy that part. But the stuff, like the actual weather stuff, right, is garbage. It's not good. Like for me, they put majority of their budget into the space stuff. The stuff on the ground is bad. Honestly, I wish the whole thing was in space. I honestly wish the whole thing was in space. And they were just doing like quick cuts to what was happening on the ground because of the stuff that was happening in space. That would have been a far better movie for me than the other stuff that was happening on the ground. It was just stupid and pointless and just ugh. Like even the events though, even the freaking like weather events weren't as good as what the stuff that was happening up in space. Honestly. Like it was just stock standard stuff, giant waves. They tried out like heat waves, and like they had like in Hong Kong it got like immensely hot, and that like helped the gas lines blow and stuff, and people's car, some reason like all the buildings came toppling down, and because these the gas lines all blew up, and people's car windows got all fogged up because it was just so humid, between each one. Giant hailstorms. Like, it's stuff we've seen before. And it wasn't done any better. It really wasn't. Like, for me, I compare this stuff to Day After Tomorrow. Because for me, like, for disaster movies, that's probably my number one. Because I've watched Day After Tomorrow countless times. It's like I can't sleep, so I'm going to watch this, and then they'll normally knock me out. And I can tolerate it. It's actually kind of it's a somewhat averagely decent movie, And for me, like for disaster movies, that's probably up there. But this is around like San Andreas levels. So 2019, the world didn't listen about global warming and all that, and extreme weather events start happening. And so like the East River completely floods all of New York. There's a giant heat wave that somehow kills millions of people in a day because it got that hot. There was, just crazy things that were happening, killing millions of people. So they had to sort of rush in the world united to create this sort of shield up in space of all these satellites, like all these satellites, and they do different things to help stop this weather from happening, like dissipate hurricanes, and if it floods, it like makes it so that it doesn't rain anymore. Like it's lots of stuff like that, and basically it's all controlled from the International Space Station. But this International Space Station is giant. It's huge. It holds like 600 people, and it's got gravity, and it's got these hangar bays that shuttles fly into. It's cool as hell. Like the design of it and the look of it, and like even the CGI and all the rest of it, it's actually kind of cool, and I like it. That's the space, the sci-fi sort of aficionado in me sort of coming out, because I like that stuff. I really do. But, and then it's sort of like something bad happens where like all these satellites start freaking out, and like it starts freezing people, and it starts having, the heat wave that I mentioned, and then it starts, it creates these events. Like all this, extreme weather is not, nature made, it's man made. And then it becomes this giant conspiracy of like, who's doing this? This isn't like a malfunction, and that's where it all just goes to heck from there. So basically Gerald Butler's character Jake, he's the one who created it all, and it sort of follows him, and he has to go up to the space station and try and fix all the problems, while down on Earth, his little brother, Max, he's like the assistant to the Secretary of State, and he's in charge of trying to get this stuff fixed. But then he realizes that it's kind of a conspiracy, and it goes all the way to the top, and he thinks the president might be involved, and it all goes from there. And honestly, all this stuff with Max and all the stuff that's down on Earth is just bad. It's like him and his Secret Service girlfriend running around trying to fix these, like solve these problems, and it's him just sort of begging his girlfriend, like, you gotta help me, you have to help me, please, like you have to do this for me, because it's me, you have to help me because we're dating, help me, get state secrets, and help me get, it's just like, no, they should have not bothered with all that stuff on Earth, not even bothered with it all. Sorry, Andy Garcia, like even you as president, all that was just Andy Garcia in a suit running around pretending to be president. He didn't pretend to be anyone else. He wasn't anyone. It's just Andy Garcia. Yeah, you could have just called him President Andy Garcia. That's really what it was. You could have got rid of all that stuff and just kept it in space and followed the crew that was up there, and them trying to fix this and there's this kind of a cool scene where the satellites are freaking out and they've lost all control, and like something's keeping them from they're all locked out of their controls and all that, and the only thing they can do is launch new satellites. So they start launching satellites to destroy the bad ones. Like it was kind of cool in that way. But then even the space stuff gets stupid. Even the space stuff goes bad. It's like, so the conspiracy is that there's this group. Well, not this group, but this group in the American. So the conspiracy is there's this group. It's all behind the Secretary of State, and he wants to like become president, but he wants to use what they call the Dutch boy. Okay, because apparently it's related to like some Dutch boy that plugged a dam with his finger or something. I don't know, but they just keep referring to the Dutch boy. And they want to weapon. He's basically trying to weaponize this thing. He like put a virus in the satellites, and he's taking control, and it's running through scenarios of basically using these satellites to take out cities and take out, do all these weather, natural disasters on them, so that all their enemies and all that are wiped out, bar America, obviously. But then he wants to kill the president as well, and it all just gets all convoluted from there. And the reason is, it's like, oh, but I want to be president, and I don't want any enemies, so I'm going to destroy over half the earth and all these people just so I can be president and not have to worry about Russia or anyone that coming after me. It's like, yeah, you don't depend on exports or anything like that, while everyone else has these awful fucking, geostorm things happening to them. You sitting there on your little paradise, starving and all the rest of it because you can't generate enough food for yourselves and all the rest of it. It was stupid. Like, the concept about it was stupid. And then they had a guy on the space station helping them. And his whole thing was, oh, well, they're paying me lots of money to do it. They're like, well, why, you there won't be an Earth to spend it on. It's like, oh, no, we're keeping the best bits. It's fine. Oh, okay. It just, it fell apart massively. I thought, like, honestly, when I saw these trailers, I was like, oh, I wonder if, like, the station's, like, controlled by, like, an AI, and the AI is going all bad, and it sort of, like, becomes, you have to, the AI is using the satellites to destroy, it kind of figures out that the humans are the problem, so that it's used, that type of thing. Yes, it's, like, a stereotypical, robot, sort of thing, but at least it would kind of be cool if, the station was taking control of itself and the satellites were taking control of themselves and they were doing these things. But no, it was just some greedy ass people that thought it'd be a good idea to wipe out all of Earth bar America and think it was, it was going to work. It was just, ugh. And I mean, like I said, I had real low expectations, real low. And still it was just bad. It was just bad. They should have just stayed in the space stuff. They should have just stayed up and did the space stuff. They just should not have done the ground stuff. Like I said, the weather stuff, just bad. Looks bad. The CGI looks bad. It's like all the stuff they did in space compared to the stuff on the ground. Just like the CGI in, like, Twister and Day After Tomorrow looks far better than the stuff here. Looks awful. And you have no, and because they're doing it in so many different places, like, basically near the end of the movie, like, the climax of the movie, where, like, they're almost at a geostorm level where, if enough storms happen, they start creating their own storms, and you can't stop it by that point, and it becomes a worldwide thing, and it's constantly feeding itself. They start doing, like, these storms all over the world, and like in like India and Brazil, I think, like, Florida, and, like, all these different places all having these things. But there's no, like, you don't know anyone in those areas. Like, I think that was always the big thing with these disaster films, is that you always had people in the center of what was going on. That's kind of like why I like Day After Tomorrow, because, you had these, outrageous disasters happening, but there was someone in New York dealing with it as it happens, like the floods coming in, going down the streets, freaking, Jake Gyllenhaal and all that, just running, trying to get to the library and stuff. Like, there was actual, like, tension and, like, oh my god, like, this, this is sort of happening. You're down on person, not just the random bloody citizens and a boy crying for his dog and all the rest of it in India and all that. It had no impact at all, and it was just, okay, this kind of shit. It was, like I said, the ground stuff just bad all around. And for a weather, like, extreme weather movie, disaster movie, the weather stuff should have been your priority, and it wasn't. The space stuff was their priority, and you could tell massively, like, that all their money went to the space stuff. Gerard Butler and Andy Garcia. That was it. So acting wise, it's what you would expect. Gerard Butler's trying to be like this gruff, tough, I saved the world, now everyone, sort of out to get me because this is my baby and I'm trying to protect it. But then I get kicked out of it, so now I got to come back and save it all again. And, he's the typical sort of hero-like guy. And then his brother is just kind of a whiny-ass, kind of annoying dude. Didn't really like him all that much. His girlfriend, the Secret Service agent, she's kind of a badass. I don't mind her. But, Andy Garcia's just Andy Garcia. And the crew on the actual space station, apart from the commander that's up there that kind of replaced him, there's no one else that's really there. It's like this annoying English guy who turns out to be a bad guy, and he gets killed for a really stupid reason. Another stupid thing. There are guns on this fucking space station. Guns. And, yes, let's take guns into space. That's a brilliant idea. And then, for some reason, right? So they're fighting, and the guy has a gun. And they're, doing the whole typical thing, they're both grabbing for the gun, and then they fire it off. 2 bullets go into one of the windows of the International Space Station. Now, these windows are, massively thick. They're, they're thicker than freaking airplane, windows, right? Windows pierce the bullets pierce the windows. Window breaks, bad guy gets sucked out. Clearly, they made this thing on the cheap with plastic windows. Because these things, it was just this is just stupid. You didn't need this. You didn't need it at all. You didn't need it at all. It was lame. It was lame as hell. And then kind of the big time crunch thing here, other than just the Geostorm thing, is that the International Space Station has a self-destruct. Because, if it falls from, its orbit degrades and it can't get back up, there's a self-destruct, so it breaks up into smaller pieces so it doesn't, fall to Earth in one piece. But it can't be turned off. Under any situation, can't be turned off. Once it's initiated, that's it. 8 minutes. Well, I think it was 12 minutes, something like that. I think it was even longer than that. Whatever it was. It can't be shut down. This multi-billion-dollar fucking space station that, that is protecting the world has a self-destruct that cannot be turned off. Under any circumstance. Doesn't matter if you turn the power off, no nothing. Oh, see what I mean by stupid things? Just stupid things that continue to happen. It was just this is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. You didn't have to have this. You already had a time crunch because of the Geostorm. Now, by making this stupid self-destruct, God forbid someone accidentally does it, because the space station's gone. It was, I don't know. Maybe their whole reasoning was that it was rushly built. They had to build this thing very quickly. And, now, I guess they didn't think of it that way. It was just this last minute thing they threw in. But, it's so bad. It's so bad. It would have been different if they had, okay, the only way to stop this thing is we got to destroy the controls for the satellites, so the satellites all turn off. No. Just the bad guy puts it into self-destruct to stop them from launching the satellites to stop the bad ones. That's his grand plan. And it's just oh. This movie. It was just stupid for stupid's sake. It really was. It was stupid for stupid's sake. And it's not even the fun stupid. It really isn't. It's not just the enjoyable stupid. It's just... But yeah, stuff like that. I will warn you, there is a scene with, the car chase scene that you've seen in the trailers with the president in the back, and they're in this electric car with the Secret Service girlfriend driving and all that. it's basically like a superstorm with this big light, like super lightning. You know, you're striking all around, like everywhere. It is a freaking strobe fest. It's like boom, 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 bright light, bright light, bright light. I was like, oh my god, I had to shut my eyes. It was that bad. Like, if you're someone, I swear, if you're someone who does not like that, or can put you into a fit or something like that, do not close your eyes when it gets to that part, because don't go and see it. Just don't go and see it, because my god, was it annoying. It was so bad. People beside me like, oh my god, my eyes. It was just strobes. It was fucking strobes in your face. It was just, oh, that was awful. That was awful. That part. But yeah. Like I said, the only redeeming part of this movie is the space stuff, and that's only because I'm interested in that. If you're not interested in that, you're not going to like any part of this movie. You really won't. Like, I had real low expectations. Real low. Like, because it's a disaster movie, and we all know what disaster movies are like, and I full well went into it. The only thing I was kind of hoping was like, heck, maybe it could be like along the lines of Day After Tomorrow. You know, have a decent story with decent characters, and have, you know, it actually kind of, you know, interesting to watch. You know, that's all I wanted. No, this is along the lines of San Andreas, like probably somewhat worse. I know, because like you don't have The Rock. You don't have The Rock. Yeah. Don't go see it. Don't go see it. This is like below 5 out of 10 for me. Below 5 out of 10. And I don't really give out ratings, but I'm just trying to just wait till it comes out on Blu-ray or on TV. Just do it then. Do it then. But yeah. Alright guys, that's it for us. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch us next time. Peace. Bye.